Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. We are starting a new section in this book, and it's so very exciting. I am recording this on October 9th at 7 a.m. It's a Monday. Let's get the week going. Let's get the week going. Let's do the work and some more work. Yeah. Okay. The first word is emulous. E-M-U-L-O-U-S. Adjective from 1535. 1a. Inspired by or deriving from a desire to emulate. Did we have emulate in? Yes, we had emulate in the previous episode. Emulate, let's see, but copying, basically. So, inspired by or deriving from a desire. I have a desire to emulate, so I would be emulous. I am emulating the things, replacing them, copying them. Emulous. 1b. Ambitious or eager to emulate. Oh, I'm just so excited to do some emulating today. I'm feeling emulous. Wow. I did not do any of my lip warm-ups. Ooh, and I got a thing, my lips are dry here, and it's very cracky. I got some Vaseline I gotta put on it. Number 2, this is obsolete. The synonym is jealous. Ooh. Now, it's been a few days since I recorded. Is there anything in the word emulate rivaling? Yeah, if you're like rival, that I could see a connection between that and jealous. That makes sense. Emulously is an adverb, and emulousness is a noun. Oh, let's see. The sound effect today is going to be... Ooh, let's do... The next word is emulsifier, noun from 1888. One that emulsifies, especially a surface active agent as a soap, promoting the formation and stabilization of an emulsion. And we're going to talk about emulsion real soon. But anything that emulsifies is an emulsifier. I don't know what specifically that would be. Are there products that we call emulsifiers? I don't know anything about this. Let's go to the next word. Emulsify. Transitive verb from 1859. To disperse, as in oil, in an emulsion, but then also to convert into an emulsion. And the example of what you are converting into an emulsion is 2 or more immiscible liquids. Okay. So you got 2 or more liquids that are immiscible, whatever that means. And you're going to emulsify them. You're going to mix them together, I believe. So the first part of it is to disperse in an emulsion, and the example is an oil. So I think of I have a little bit of knowledge, not much, just sort of what I picked up over the years. When I don't, because I'm not a big cook person. So if you have to blend somehow the oil into the thing. Maybe you got 2 things like an oil and a water, or an oil and a something that don't usually mix together, but if you emulsify them, then maybe they will become mixed. It's a very special way to blend, possibly. I don't know. Is this baking? Is this other kinds of cooking? What is this? Emulsifiable is an adjective, and emulsification is a noun. So here we go with the last of the EM words. It's emulsion. Noun from 1612. 1a. A system, as fat in milk, consisting of a liquid dispersed with or without an emulsifier in an immiscible liquid, usually in droplets of larger than colloidal size. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what that said. A system consisting of a liquid dispersed with or without an emulsifier in an immiscible liquid, usually in droplets of larger than colloidal size. I guess what it's saying is that let's say you take the fat in milk and you're dropping it, big drops into an immiscible liquid, and it's dispersed. Yeah, you're putting a liquid into another liquid. That's essentially what it is. Emulsion. Okay, what else we gotta say? 1b, the state of such a system. Huh? The emulsion is in a state of emulsion. I mean, that's just logic. Number 2, here we go. It's another long definition. Well, the first part is just the 2b3 definition for the word suspension, but especially a suspension of a sensitive silver salt or a mixture of silver halides in a viscous medium as a gelatin solution, forming a coating on photographic plates, film, or paper. So this seems like, yes, this is maybe what they used to develop film photographs, because I've heard of silver halides and those sorts of things in relation to developing film, and maybe I've heard of emulsion too. I've never developed my own film. I think that would be a cool thing to do, but I've never done it. So that's another way emulsion gets used. Photography and, and other types of, photographic plates, film, or paper. So photography and also liquids. How you use this emulsion, you got to make an emulsion you got to blend the fats and the oils and the immiscible liquids. Don't forget the immiscible liquids. This word is from the Latin emulgere, which means to milk out. Interesting. From the e prefix plus mulgere, which means to milk, akin to the Old English melkon, which means to milk, and then also the Greek word amelgene, which it doesn't say what that means, but it's probably also related to milk. So this is all about milk. Milking a thing. I mean, they probably used it when they were milking cows and goats and stuff, and then it just became the blending of the liquids, the putting the liquids together, and it probably all started with milk because there's fat in it, and maybe that's hard to mix in with other things. I'm not sure. And the sound that maybe it makes is okay, here is the EN section. Whole new 2-letter area. We finally got to the N's. It's not the N's, it's the E's, but it's N. Okay, the first word is N. Noun from 1792. Number 1, the width of a piece of type half. The width of a piece of type. There should be a comma there. The width of a piece of type, half the width of an M. Okay, so I believe the M, the EM, was the width of a piece of a letter. Like if you're printing, your old printing presses, you got the letters, and I think that the width was about the same as the height. So it was kind of like square shape. But an N is the same. It's half the width of an M, so it's skinnier maybe than it is tall. So you got your dashes on your keyboard, and you can make M dashes and N dashes. So the M dash is wider and the N dash is skinnier by half, I guess. And then number 2 for N is the letter N, and it shows the letter N in italics. The very wonderful, cute little N. That's that. Next is the first form of the prefix N, E-N, but it is also the prefix M. And we have seen this through many of these words. Sometimes it's EM, sometimes it's EN, especially if you look at the etymology. Maybe it used to be EN and now it's EM. So they kind of go hand in hand. And I think it all has to do with what's the next letter in line. What's the third letter? So it says, I guess it's pronounced in or also N, but it says sometimes it's only in when is shown when N is infrequent. Wait, what? Sometimes only in is shown when N is infrequent. So when n is when the way to say it is n is infrequent, then it will be in. I don't understand exactly what we're saying here, but in or n, or also m, because that's fine too. Okay, this is prefix number 1, put into or onto, as in enthrone. So that's just the first part of the definition. There's more coming. Put into or onto. You are putting something onto the throne or into the throne, probably on the throne. You are enthroning them, and you are now king or queen, whoever, whatever you want to be called. You have been enthroned. The next part is cover with. I don't know why these couldn't have been separated into their own definitions, because it's all still under number 1. To cover with. The example is enshroud. Put a blanket over your head. You have been enshrouded. The next part is go into or onto. The example is in plane. In plane. You're going onto the plane. It's time for a trip. Yay, everybody loves a trip. Usually, you are in planing. Into the plane, onto the plane. Okay, this is interesting because the first part was put into or onto. You are the one who's putting the thing. I'm putting my banana on the shelf here. So I have enshelved the banana. But if you are doing the action yourself, if the banana had feet and it went walking around and it put itself on the shelf, then it would have enshelved it itself. Okay. And then this says it is in verbs formed with nouns. That's the description of the end of this definition of like how this is used. In verbs formed with nouns. So the verb is in plane, in shroud, in throne, but they are based on a noun. Throne, shroud, plane. You've verbifized the nouns by putting the n prefix at the beginning. Okay. I think we got that part. Number 2, cause to be. And the synonym is, no, the example is enslave. You have been caused to be a slave. You have been enslaved. And this is not what anybody should ever be, ever again, ever, please and thank you. This part, this definition is in verbs formed from adjectives or nouns. Could come from a noun, could be from an adjective, and if you put n in front of it, it becomes a verb, and cause to be. I don't know what other examples, but we're going to learn all about them as we go through the dictionary. We're going to find all of these n words. Number 3, provide with. And the example here is empower, a good word. You are providing somebody else with some power, so you have empowered them. And for whatever reason, we're using the M instead of the N here. This is in verbs formed from nouns. Now, is that literally the same one from number 1? In verbs formed? Yes. Same thing. We're taking a noun and we're verbifying it with the prefix. Number 4, so as to cover. And the example is enwrap. When you're making your gifts, your Christmas gifts, your Hanukkah gifts, your birthday gifts, your other holiday gifts, your Indigenous People Day gifts, you have to wrap them up. So you're covering them, you're enwrapping them. The other part to this is thoroughly, as in entangle. So you have been tangled up so thoroughly you cannot get out. Maybe you're in a shroud. You've been tangled up in the shroud, and it's just thorough. It's completely entangled. This one is in verbs formed from verbs. And in all senses, usually it's M before a B, an M, or a P. Okay, thank you for that explanation. So if you take a verb and you want to make it another verb, empower, enwrap, yes, entangle. So tangle, power. No, sorry, that empower is from the previous one. Wrap and tangle. Those are verbs, and we've made new verbs from them by putting the prefix at the beginning. Now, so if that verb starts with a B, an M, or a P, then you use the EM prefix, but any other letter, I guess you use the N prefix. So if I gotta go do some mopping, and I'm gonna immop, I will thoroughly mop the floor, and I will be immopping. It has been immopped. That was probably a very bad example. Okay. And wrap also doesn't seem like something that we use very much. Entangle, though, that's one. I'm using that every day. Let's see. It's basically just from the word in, I guess. It doesn't really give much information there in the etymology. So that means we need to now move on to the next word. It's N again, second form, and it is also possibly M. Still a prefix. It means in. It also means within, in or within, as in enzootic. Enzootic. I think you would call that enzootic. That's how you would pronounce that. In or within what? A zoo or something related to animals, possibly. This is usually M with an M before, again, B, M, or P, as in the word empathy. Empathy. Okay. What's pathy? Pathy. What is that? What is that based on? Is that its own word? Is that a suffix? I don't remember. Did we have what was the etymology for empathy? Where was that? I thought it was right over here. Isn't it? Yes, empathy, pathos. Okay. Passion. Yes, emotional feelings, emotions, pathos. Yes, pathos. I think that's the word that we're using here. So, pathos, empathy, in pathos, in passion, in something or within it. That's empathy. In or within is the second form of N. No etymology really. Oh, I'm getting I see. Okay, I'm looking at the suffix part. M. And that's it. There's more to the word in. That's the etymology that we need to know about. Go to the word in to find out more. Now we have the first form of the suffix N. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 versions of N right in a row, so it's a little confusing. The suffix N could also just be the letter N, not EN. Either one, with or without an E. And this is an adjective suffix, and it means made of or consisting of, as in the example, earthen and leathern. So we got 2 examples there, one with the EN and one with just the N. So earthen is something that is made of earth, consisting of earth, dirt, soil, and maybe other things that are on earth. Leathern, I guess that's something that would be made out of leather. Leathern, but I've never heard of that used. Leathern, okay. Let's see, does the etymology have anything to say? It's from the Old High German suffix in, which means made of, from the Latin suffix inus, which is of or belonging to. So it's of earth, belonging to the earth. It is earthen. From the Greek inos, which also means made of, or it means of or belonging to. Yeah, so anything from a thing. Papern, bananen. What? It's made out of bananas, so it's bananen. That makes sense. Next is the second form of the suffix N. This is a verb suffix, 1A, cause to be, and the example is sharpen. You have to sharpen your knives. It's very important to have sharp knives. So it has been caused to be sharp is sharpen. I don't know of another way to say that. Cause to be. 1B, cause to have. It's not, it isn't, it doesn't, it's not a be thing, it's a have thing. As in, lengthen. Cause to have, lengthen. So it has length, you're giving it length, you're lengthening the thing. Lengthen this podcast. No, let's not lengthen it any more than it already is. So it has length. 2A, come to be. And the example is steepen. Come to be. So I guess if you're making something steeper, it has come to be. It's a weird way to write these definitions. I don't know. I'm sure they're correct, but my brain doesn't really understand it. Okay, to be, come to have. And the example is lengthen. Okay, so we had cause to be, cause to have, come to be, come to have. They're slight differences, but they're very big differences. Yeah, I can't go on anymore with that. I just can't. The next word is enable. Transitive verb from the 15th century, 1A, to provide with the means or opportunity, as in training that enables people to earn a living. Well, that's some good training. You want to enable people to have the knowledge that they need, whatever they want and need. You have to enable them, I guess. 1B, to make possible, practical, or easy, as in a deal that would enable passage of a new law. We're making it possible for the new law to be real, making it practical or easy. Let's pave the way for this new law. Here you go, law. You have now a path. We have enabled your way to become real. You start with a bill. I'm only a bill. My name is not Bill. Where are we? We are at 1C. To cause to operate, as in software that enables the keyboard. It causes the keyboard now to operate. It didn't operate before, and now it is able to operate. Sometimes when I come in the morning, my keyboard is not working. I don't know what happened in the middle of the night, but the connection between the computer and the keyboard is just lost, and I can't do anything. It's a wireless, but even if I plug it in, it still doesn't work, and I don't understand it. So it's been disabled, which is very frustrating. Number 2, to give legal power, capacity, or sanction to, as in a law enabling admission of a state. Yep, that's what it is, enabling. Boy, I just feel like my brain is not working this morning. It's a Monday morning. I'm tired. I could have slept for another hour, but I had to get up. And do stuff so I could record this podcast for you. Let's see. There is no etymology there. I wonder why not. I mean, it's just enable, right? So it's able to do something, and then we just learned in the prefixes that you put the n in front of a thing. It means to put into effect, not to cover with, but to, let's see, which one of these would it be? Cause to be, provide with able, to provide with the ability to do a thing. That's probably the one. That's the number 3 prefix. And I don't think, wouldn't it be the second form? Yep. Enable. Oh, it's going to be fun to learn about all these N words. Next is enabler. Noun from the 1615 year. This would be a funny comic book character name, a hero, a villain, I don't know, somebody who's on both sides, the enabler. Where could you go with that? Let's see what we got. There's just one definition, one big definition, but there's an especially. One that enables another to achieve an end. Basically, to achieve a goal, a thing. Oh, you want that thing? I'm going to enable you to do that thing. So I'm an enabler. This is often used, and maybe this is what the especially is. This is often used with somebody who's enabling other people to do like drugs and alcohol. Maybe a drug dealer would be called an enabler. Or people in somebody's life, they know that they maybe have an addiction problem, but they're not doing anything to stop them from doing their addiction thing. So they would be an enabler, or maybe they're actively helping them, and so they're an enabler. So, what does the rest of this say? One who enables another to persist in self-destructive behavior as substance abuse by providing excuses or by making it possible to avoid the consequences of such behavior. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on here. So you're providing excuses. So like saying, oh, well, it's okay that you're, overusing these drugs, you're abusing them, these substances because you have some mental health issues, or maybe because of your, whatever it is, you just lost your job, it's fine. You can use these. So you'd be enabling them to use more substances. Probably not the best thing. There's maybe other methods for you to deal with your issues. So don't be enabling people in harmful activities. Then the other part of this is we're making it possible to avoid the consequences of such behavior. So you're helping them get away. Maybe you drive them away from a situation. Maybe they're going to go be put in rehab, and then but you don't let them happen. What are the other consequences? You help them avoid jail time or getting arrested or something like that. So you're helping them do more substance abuse, basically. That's what we call an enabler usually. But in general, if you're enabling somebody to go to school, to get an education, something maybe quote-unquote more positive, that's also an enabler. You can use it all the ways. The last word is enact. E-N-A-C-T. Transitive verb from the 15th century. 1. To establish by legal and authoritative act. Specifically, to make as a bill into law. You are putting a law to make it an act, an authoritative act. You are enacting it. 2. The synonym is act out. Act out. Okay, as in the example, enact a role. So I think we're literally talking about acting here. What role will you be playing today? Well, today I will be enacting the role of the scientist. I need my white lab coat, please. I need to get into hair and makeup and wardrobe, and then I will be the scientist. I'm ready for my close-up, my scientific close-up. I don't know where we're going with this. Act out. An actor. Oh, interesting. That is a noun. In actor. That's a word. Enactor. The one who is doing the enacting is the enactor. Okay. It's time for the word of the episode. We got there. We did it. I feel like it was kind of quick. Was it quick? What's our time? No, it wasn't quick at all. We had emulous, emulsifier, emulsify, emulsion, enable, enabler, and enact. Oh, I think maybe I'll just pick enable as the word of the episode, because I think what do I want to say? I want to say that I want to enable people. I think other people should be enabling people to do things to help. It's a help. That's what you're doing. You're helping people out, enabling them. I don't want to use it in the negative way about maybe substance abuse or something like that. It can be used in the positive way of enabling them to get education, a job, whatever they need. That's what it is. That's what I want. I'm going to enable you to do the thing that you want. I'm gonna be an enabler. Yeah. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's just quickly talk about another movie I watched, which would be Hereditary. I believe that's where I'm at. Let's see. This is a very creepy movie. So if you don't like the creepy stuff, maybe stay away from it. Yeah, it gets real intense. But I will say there are models, there's miniature models made, and they're very cool. And it starts off with a shot that goes into a model, and that's all I'll say. It's a very cool shot, and I very much appreciate the models. And then if you like creepy stuff, you've probably already seen this movie. It gets kind of intense, but it's good. Not for kids, probably. I don't know. Maybe you're a cool kid. Maybe you'll like Hereditary. That's on you and your parents, I guess. Okay, this is the end of the episode. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.